Darren, I know you're going to feel like you gave one away there. You were actually in a spot to try something different to get the lead, and maybe running second was better there, and maybe on that last lap in traffic, second was a better place to be as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's never over till you take the checkered. We didn't get there first, so congrats to them. I don't know. I'll run that one through my head for a long time. I'm not real sure what I could have done different. You know, he was just in a good spot to make something happen, and you know, we're trying to protect tires, and good job, man. You know, as soon as I got the lead, I found the rubber first in 3 and 4, honestly, kind of by accident, and got too close to him, closer than I wanted to, and then he moved down. Obviously, he's a smart racer, and thought that might have been my chance to get the lead. Then I found the rubber first in 1 and 2, and man, I hit it. I found it and got right to his rear bumper and was able to slow down so he didn't see me, and then got by him the next lap doing that. So, yeah, I was in the right spot, the right time to get the lead, just not on the last lap. So, damn it, he's beat me like this. I don't know how many times on the last lap of rubber. You'd think I've been doing this for 20 years. I'd figure out a way to finish a race like that. But I just can't be prouder of this Roth Motorsports team. Dennis, Teresa, thank you for the opportunity to come out here and race. And it's a lot of fun to come out here and compete for wins. Still doesn't make a sting any less when you give them away like that. But like I said, my guys, Corey, Fudd, Brent, they've been doing a great job working hard on this car, and it's been a rocket to drive and a lot of fun. So we'll just keep plugging away, go to Tulare next week, and try to rebound and get another one.
Darren Pittman, second place at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Logan Schuchart, you wind up on the podium when it's all said and done and equal your career best finish at this racetrack.
Yeah, that's great. You know, I think the last time we were in third, we started on the pole. So to come from 10th on a track like this, we're able to find the rubber in the beginning a little bit earlier than what some of the others were, and I think that really helped us. But some of those cautions, and you know, I was actually starting to run out of fuel before we had the fuel stop. So, you know, tensions were high. It made me nervous a few times, but we're happy to get this Dryden Performance NGK spark plugs 1S up front, and then on a podium finish for you know, to start this outlaw season. It's good to get one of these out of the way and be up here. So hopefully next time we're up here, it's getting a win. But this is a good finish.
Logan Schuchart on the podium tonight with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series here at the FVP Platinum Battery Outlaw Showdown. We've got car staging and our big NASCAR K&N Pro Series event coming up next.
All right, thank you, Johnny. Hey, race fans, wow, we've had 2 great finishes. How many of y'all think we're going to have 3 tonight? Man, what a race we got coming up here. We've got 100 laps for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. These cars, man, this is only their second time on dirt. A lot of these drivers, this is their first time on dirt. We're going to see some great competition here. These are 3,300-pound cars compared to what we just saw was about a 1,500-pound car. They're going to throw these cars around this track as fast as they can and compete for the win. Stay around here with us, folks. We're going to see a great race here coming up. Once again, of course, we want to thank Star Nursery for sponsoring tonight's race. It's been a fantastic night. It's been a fantastic 2 days here. We've had some of the best weather we've ever had here at the dirt track. I mean, it's just amazing to think that we had snow a week ago, and now we're sitting out here, and it's just beautiful. So I want to thank you all for coming out again tonight. Man, this is only the second day of a 5-day race week. It started out with a bang. We're going to finish up over there at the Super Speedway with 3 races, a truck race, the Xfinity boys, and, of course, the Cup boys are going to be racing on Sunday. We're going to see our good friend Kurt Busch out there trying to win one here in his hometown racetrack with his hometown sponsor on there, of course, Star Nursery. I tell you what, those last 2 races, man, traffic played a part. You got to wonder if traffic's going to play a part in this last race. I just knew Pittman had that race in the bag, and sure enough, the one and only Donnie Schatz is able to make that last corner pass and take that victory home. Pittman is still in the lead in the points in the outlaw race, in the outlaw division, and so he'll take that to the next race. You know, it's really been a Boomer Sooner kind of year in the outlaws. We've had a lot of Oklahomans on the podium this year, and so how many of y'all from Oklahoma? Anybody out there from the Sooner State? All right, outstanding. That's where I'm from. I've been here in Nevada for 34 years, but born and raised a Sooner, and you know how it is. Born a Sooner, die a Sooner. Hey, we've got the 40 car out there. The 40 car was a scratch earlier on the heat races. Okay, looks like we've got George down there. George, tell us who's racing tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Scotty. Folks, let's give it up for all these drivers right here coming out here to do a 100-lap main event tonight. Let's give it up for Pit Boss down here with me. Come on. We're going to start out back here in row number 10. The number 40 is Taylor Canfield. Let's give it up for Taylor. Driving the number 40 on the inside of row number 9 is David Hibbert from Medford, Oregon, driving a 64 car. On the outside of row number 9, it is Rich DeLong III out of Santa Clarita, California. We're going to move up to row number 8, and we have Joey Tanner from Oregon in the 7 car. On the outside, one of the 2 ladies in this main event. Let's get it up for the young lady in the 99 car, Brittany Zamora. All right, we're going to move up to row number 7. Driving a 72 car is Kenny Humbara. Kenny out of Texas, driving a 72. On the outside to 77, driven by Tukuma Kruga out of Japan. Let's give it up for a Japan driver right here in the 77 car. Inside row number 6, give it up for this person, Travis Milburn out of Idaho, driving the 08 for Stoney's, which is a local bar here downtown by the South Point. Go by there and say hi. And on the outside, this young man, Travis Huddleston out of Agoura Hills, California, driving the number 9 Sunrise Ford car. Then we're going to move up to row number 5. On the inside is Rob Powers out of Idaho, driving a 38. On the outside of row number 5 is the 86, Tim Spurgeon. Tim out of California. Inside row number 4 is, we've got, looking down here, I can barely see it. We got Cody Vanderwall. I should have known that. I looked at, give it up for Cody in the 43 car. On the outside, the other young lady, they call her the Dirt Princess, Haley Deegan. All right. Inside, row number 3. This guy was fast. We're going to speed this thing up. Todd Souza, driving a 13. On the outside to 17, driven by Tony Toast. Inside row number 2 is Matt Levin in the 10 car. Outside row number 2 is Jager Jones in the 6 car. And on the pole, let's give it on the inside, driver of Austin Reed in the 14. And this guy who wants to win tonight, Derek Krause in the number 16 car. All right, we're going to get this thing going. So we want to see all these drivers. Let's give it up for all of them right now. Give them one more big round of applause before we turn the mic over to, we're going to turn the mic over to the Vice President of Star Nursery. They are sponsoring this main event. Here you are, Sean Watts.
On behalf of the entire Star Nursery family, drivers, start your engines.
Thank you, Sean. Back to you up there, Scotty, in the booth.
Well, thank you, George. Great job. All right. We've got those engines fired, and we are ready to see some racing with these NASCAR cars on the half-mile dirt track. Boy, there's a lot of rubber laid down from those Outlaws and the 360 Sprints. The track is really black now with that rubber, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers adjust now to yet another different track surface for them. But you know, I think they can do it. They've been working very hard. I talked to Haley Deegan during the interview session, or the autograph session, and you know, she said that she felt pretty good about things, but I love the way she acts. She says she's just never satisfied, you know, with her driving. So she's working hard to improve every lap out there, as I'm sure all the drivers are. Well, I tell you, it's about as hard to predict the winner of this race as it was for the Outlaws. This is truly a big unknown out there. Austin Reed's been pretty good on the pole there. He's been fast, but we haven't seen him too much in race conditions. He got out to a quick lead in the heat race and pretty much waved goodbye to the crowd. We're going to see how the 14 car handles in amongst all the other cars, and we're going to have to see Haley move up through the pack a little bit. She's starting in the fourth row there. And Cody in the 43 car, we're going to see Cody Vanderwall trying to move up alongside her. Now, he's got to get by the 13 car. That 13 car was pretty loose in that heat race. 13 car did finish, I believe, in third place. But, yeah, the 13 car was pretty loose, so we're going to see if they were able to tighten that car up a little bit and keep it a little more under control.
You know, Scotty, we were talking to TJ Clark about what do you do to come out here for the first 50 laps. And what TJ was talking about is the track has gotten pretty tight with all the other cars on the track. So you want to set your car up loose. The only problem is after they race about 50 laps, then that looseness is going to change. So we're going to have a 50 lap stop. We're going to stop at 50 laps. They get a chance to work on their car. But if they do, they got to start in the rear. So really it's up to the driver if he thinks his car is good. All right, back to you, Scotty.
Okay, so the lights are off on the pace truck. We are 1 to go. Austin Reed's going to bring him around with Derek Kraus on the outside. You got to figure there's a lot of butterflies in the stomachs of these drivers. So little experience on dirt tracks. And this is a huge, huge race for them to be out here in front of such a big crowd and also, you know, out here with all the Cup drivers. All right, flag man looks him over. Green flag racing! Kraus jumps in front going into turn 1. Austin Reed fighting him off, though, down on the inside. They are side by side going down the backstretch.
Coming out of turn 4. Austin Reed get a little nudge from Derek Kraus. Derek Kraus trying to get to the bottom, Scotty, and try to make it happen. Look at Jager Jones up top, trying to take that third spot down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and Matt Levin looking underneath now, trying to move into that third position.
Jager now kind of wins the drag race and drops down to the bottom in front of Matt Levin. Smart move.
Cody Vanderwall in the 43 car now trying to get by Tony Toast in the 17 for that position. Definitely setting his sights on Todd Souza up ahead in the 13 car.
Yeah, Austin Reed definitely looking good. We're looking back at some of the other cars back there trying to move up. See Huddleston trying to move on the inside. Wow, trying to make these moves on the bottom. We talked about the track. If the track is a little tight at the start here of this race from all the rubber that was put down earlier, but it won't last that long. And right now you see Levin trying to go back on the inside of Jager Jones.
That's right, Levin takes that position, moves up into third position. Jones in fourth, and Souza in the 13 car in fifth.
Trying to look back in the pack and find out where Haley Deegan trying to work that car up to the front. And right now, Haley on the bottom of Huddleston trying to make that move. And you see that car just not hooking up like she was earlier, Scotty. I mean, it just doesn't look loose at all. It's very tight condition going into turn 1.
Right, she's really trying to put some pressure on that 9 car of Huddleston. Down on the inside, might be able to pull the pass off on the front stretch here.
Yeah, you can just see she's just barely getting that thing around. You get to the bottom, and she's just turning it. She's not pitching it sideways like she was earlier up where Huddleston is right now.
And Joey Tanner moves up a spot. Joey Tanner on the move now down the backstretch.
You see Austin Reed coming out of 4 a little loose. You can see the car pitching sideways as he gets on that throttle. You know, you got to really be careful where you put the gas back on. Too quick, you're going to go around.
Now Kraus really working that inside position there, trying to cut, you know, make the track a bit smaller. But Reed really doing a great job out front right now.
Yeah, you can see Derek trying to get that car underneath, and he gets it underneath. Problems for Reed from the middle of that corner to the end, Scotty. He lost some time.
Yeah, he got pretty loose there on the exit of 2. The exit of 2 seems to be the problem area tonight. I've seen several cars having some trouble up there with some wheel spin.
Well, Derek is seen to find his way around. He's in that bottom groove. He seems to like it down on the bottom of the track. And like we said, if you set your car up pretty loose, you can hook up right down there where the track is real tight.
So now Austin Reed trying to hold off Jagger Jones. Jagger Jones in the number 6 Sunrise Ford car.
Yeah, because Matt Levin now up to that 2nd spot right behind Kraus. Jagger putting some time right there, puts a car link, 2 car links now going down the back straightaway on Austin Reed.
Yeah, Austin Reed definitely struggling right now. You got to wonder if could Austin be saving his tires at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's a 50 lap until they stop. They got to go 50 laps and then they can take that pit. We don't know if all the drivers will pit. Now, if Derek Kraus, he might not pit and keep that position.
But it would be very hard to give up track position in this race.
Now, they can make adjustments on the bias of the car. They can use their brake bias in this race. They can do that in the car. About the only thing they can do.
So Derek Kraus in the 16 car, your leader, really looking good up front with Matt Levin in 2nd in the number 10 car.
If you understand the brake bias, if you're coming in the corner and you're loose, you can put more on the front brake and tighten that car up. If the car's tight coming in, you can put more on the actual rear brake of the car, and that'll help hook it up. So that's just something the driver can be doing inside that car.
Okay, we've got the 99 of Brittany Zamora starting to try to pass the number 77 of Koga. Brittany pulls off that pass, starting to move up front. A little bit of contact with Haley Deegan in the number 9 car. Haley putting the chrome bumper to him there.
I mean, Haley's been trying to find a line to get around. You really can't. It's pretty much single file right there unless you decide you want to try the outside. Everybody's trying to stay on the bottom. You can see everybody down on the bottom in 3 and 4. Now Haley tries to sneak under Huddleston, and then he'll try to drive as deep as she can, but you can see where Huddleston cuts down the bottom and cuts that corner off.
And that happens a lot with your inexperienced drivers. A lot of drivers, if they don't have a lot of experience on a track, they'll hug that bottom. It's like a security blanket down there.
You never want to give up a spot, you know, but always they say, hey, if somebody's faster than you, let them, you know, you don't really want to let them get by. But we see Haley, once maybe she can get by Huddleston, she can move farther up the pack.
So right now, the way it looks, Huddleston and Deegan are not really losing any time to the front pack. So you got to wonder if there's some tire saving going on out there.
When you look back at the 13, Souza, he was so fast earlier on today in the heat races. Now he's just not getting around the track as fast as he would.
Yeah, absolutely not. The one consistent car out there really has been Kraus, our leader, and Austin Reed, but Reed has either backed off a little bit to save tires or just not handling as good as he was earlier.
As soon as I brought that up, I actually looked back at the 13 is trying to get around Austin Reed. We talked about that earlier. Reed moves up the track a little bit, gives a little bit of room for Scoot, and he gets on the inside. Now he's got to hope that Austin gives him that room, which he does.
Yeah, we got a caution on the track. Caution, spin in turn 2. We got a spin at the turn 2 exit.
And car's going again. 72 going around.
That is Kenny Bumbera. All right, so we got a caution out. So Derek Kraus so far, pretty much the cream of the crop, but Matt Levin, Levin's team won this race in September, so Matt Levin in the number 10 car doing pretty good in second position. Jagger Jones is in the number 6 car in third, and our pole sitter Austin Reed in the 14 has dropped back to 4th. Todd Souza in the number 13th is in 5th. And Cody Vanderwall in the number 43 is back in 6th position. So we've had some interesting developments so far, haven't we, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, it's really too early in the race to, some of the drivers sitting out there right now in their car are going, hey, I just can't get this thing to hook up. When we talked to TJ Clark about setup, he was working with Christopher Bell last year in September, and definitely we saw Christopher Bell come from the back up to the front, go to the back, come to the front, and just not a good night for Christopher Bell last September. But TJ talking about how important it is to set these things up because they got to go 100 laps. And if you go 50, some of them set the car up to go 50 laps, they're going to make that change because if you're totally backwards at lap 50, Scott, you're going to be farther back when you hit the next 50.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned earlier after talking to a crew chief that these crew chiefs are putting a lot of spring rubbers in the cars so that they can make some real quick major adjustments on the cars at the halfway point if needed.
Yeah, you can just pull those spring rubbers out, tighten the car up, loosen the car up. It depends on which wheel. If you know anything about these, the right front does it different than the left. The left rear, the right front, pretty much the same. The left front and the right rear do the same deal. So you just got to know how to loosen it up, tighten the car up, and the crew chiefs definitely know what to do. And like TJ said, it's not the crew chief watching the car right now, it's the feedback they're getting from the drivers. And talking about drivers and feedback, the reason why Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch are so good, and I'll tell you the truth, it's because they grew up around Tom Busch, their dad. And I remember when Kurt was just 14 or 15 years old, and when they were racing, dwarf cars and stuff, their dad made them work on those cars and learn how to set up a car. That's got to be a lot of what helped Kyle and Kurt because they know what to tell the crew chief.
Yeah, it reminds me of Rusty Wallace. He was always really good at that work too. So looks like lights are off on the pace truck.
And they're going to line up two side by side. So we're going to have Derek on the inside. We got Matt Levin on the outside. And this could be an interesting start because, you're starting two abreast, Scotty, and the track isn't really, it's almost like our bull ring where you get hung out to dry if you're in that second lane.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Some of these drivers, now that they're forced to be on the outside, will they maybe find something out there, find some moisture or something, and find some traction? Okay, the flagman's looking them over. Green flag racing.
Derek will lead him down, and look at Jager all over the tail of Derek Kraus, and look at Scusa. He's right there behind Jager, and we talked about that. Everybody up high is going to be hung out for a little bit till they set their cars back up. down the back straightaway. You see how they do two abreast.
Matt Levin still on the outside coming around turn 4. Able to keep that position pretty well, though.
As you can see, he lost that spot to the bottom where Jager Jones was. And now Scusa, he's moving up to that third spot because, and then you see Matt now got to drop down to that bottom quick.
And, you know, I think Souza's a real threat to win this race. Souza is one of the few drivers out there that looks really, really confident in the car.
Yeah, and Levin's having trouble getting that thing started back up, and you can see right there Austin Reed just falling back. You know, and this is where the car, you set it up, and now they're changing.
Yellow flag is out. We've got a car spinning in turn 4.
I think the 86.
Yeah, that's Tim Spurgeon. Tim Spurgeon having some trouble over there. It looks like there was some contact. The front of that car looks like it's got some damage. So we are checking out the TV right now to see if we can see a replay. But yeah, some pretty heavy damage on the front of the 86 car.
Yeah, we don't know if he hit somebody. I don't know if he might have got into one of those white tires down there in the turn. Sometimes they get real tight.
So right now we've got Derek Kraus still in the lead. Jagger Jones moved up into second position in the number 6 car. Todd Souza in the 13 car has moved up into third. Now Todd Souza, I was just saying, we believe that he could be a real threat to win this race just because of the confidence that driver's been showing going through the corners. We both thought that he kind of looked like some of our friends that run dirt modifieds, the way he's handling that car.
Yeah, I'd like to check some of the background. This could be, you never know, he might have raced some dirt modifieds and stuff. Definitely looks pretty good out there.
Yeah, you know, we get those, we get 300 of the dirt modifieds here in the fall in the November Duel in the Desert race. And he definitely has some of the same type of driving skills that those drivers do in the dirt modifieds. All right, we're getting them lined up. Race controls talking to them, getting them lined up real quick here for us. So Austin Reed still kind of moving back in the 5th position now. You know, Austin seems to have trouble right at the beginning of the race. So I'm wondering if Austin's tires aren't hating the cold. And once they warm up, it seems like Austin's car kind of settles in and he's able to handle that car and move it around the track pretty good. But on cold tires, Austin Reed's car is just not very happy camper right now.
Looking up some info on Todd Souza out of Bakersfield, California. NASCAR, he raced last year. He actually raced in 2017.
So Kenny Bombera in the 72 car is the lucky dog after this yellow flag. So Kenny is going to get his lap back. Coming around to join the tail end of the field. The pace truck is off.
It says right here, Scotty, back in 19 is a part-time NASCAR driver from Watsonville, California. He won his first Camping World West Series race.
Green flag racing. All right, Derek Kraus out to an early lead there. The 6 car, Jager Jones, doing pretty good on the outside there, kind of getting into that second position.
You know, and you can see they all drop to get in that single file because, like, just, you know, reminds us of the bowling where there's no rubber up on that outer groove. Souza Souza with, right there in that third spot. Levin back in fourth. Yeah, Vanderwall in that second lane doing good, but trying to keep ahead of Austin Reed.
Yeah, a lot of contact between Austin Reed and Cody Vanderwall down the front stretch.
Because Austin is going to drift. When you're down on the bottom, you're going to drift up a little bit, and Vanderwall's right there. He's just trying to hang in that second groove.
Yeah, when you're on the outside, it's a decent idea to try to pinch the driver on the inside down, but it can be a problem.
Now Kaylee Deegan is making moves now. She's coming up on Austin Reed, and Vanderwall's going to get passed by Haley Deegan right now. She's making the move right now up to that sixth spot. So her car could be coming to her, and
oh man, Haley Deegan just barely missed the tractor tire.
She's pitching right down on the bottom, and she knows, you can see she's got that car down on the bottom like you would normally drive on the asphalt, but she's finding that the traction's better down on the bottom right there, Scotty.
Yeah, and really, she's moved up into the top 5 and put some heavy pressure on Matt Levin in the number 10 car.
And you said it again, that time by, she's just almost clipping that tire coming out of 4.
A little bit of contact. Vanderwall says hello.
Haley, go see you. Watch Haley put that car down right on the bottom, right next to that tire. She hits that tire, it'll be all over.
She's looking on the inside, 11 now. Now the front 3 have moved out a little bit. They're spread out. George, I think that this gives them an advantage. They're probably able to take it easy on their tires up in the front now.
No, and you can see everybody, the guys on the radio are telling their drivers, stay down on the bottom in turn 3 and 4, and that's where they are. And you can see Haley is making some distance. She's moving up on the leaders.
And Vanderwall takes advantage and moves past Levin on the inside. Cody Vanderwall in the 43 car now moves up into the top 5.
So right now, Derek Kraus leads Jager Jones, Souza, Haley Deegan, Vanderwall, Matt Levin, and the 7 of Joey Tanner.
All right, now it looks like Jones is starting to put a little bit of pressure on our leader.
You can see right now it's a single groove track, just down on the bottom, just like on the asphalt. They talk about how these tracks in the dirt have that black groove.
Yeah, it seems like if one driver could figure out that high side and make it work, that will be a great move, because you'd be up there running where nobody else is.
Yeah, if you could run up top, that'd be crazy. You could get up top and run at full speed all the way around the track. But nobody's going to try that. And here we go down the back straightaway as they get by one of the lap cars.
Yeah, Takuma Koga goes down 1 lap.
And you got the 3 leaders up front, Scotty, very close, as Jager within a half a car length of Derek Kraus going down the back straightaway. You can just see as they all come down, the spotters are telling them, stay on the bottom.
Okay, Souza now starting to put pressure on Jones, so those front 3, they're no longer playing nice, George. that little time is over.
Well, they know they're coming up shortly on 50 laps. And here, look at Souza trying to put his car underneath.
Yeah, we're looking at only 6 more laps until the mid-race break here.
And then we're going to see, it'll be interesting strategy, who is going to stay out and who is going to work on their car. I don't know, Derek Kraus with the lead over Jager Jones and Susan. Here comes Haley Deegan. While those three are battling toe-to-toe, Scotty, look at Deegan. Deegan's making a move on him.
Yeah, both Deegan and Vanderwall have started to catch up to the front.
I mean, her laps are the fastest right now on the track.
So right now it looks like Kraus is holding up the cars behind him.
And Jager trying to stick his nose down underneath. Got to be very close to that rear end of Derek Kraus.
Well, you know, if Kraus gets pushed up to the outside, he's probably going to get freight trained all the way back to 5th.
Yeah, right now, Derek Kraus is not getting around as fast as earlier. Haley Deegan all over the back bumper of Souza. And like I said, she's definitely faster, and she's just trying to put underneath, and she makes the move going down the back straightaway into 3rd.
Vanderwall trying to follow her underneath Souza, and he makes it work, but there's a lot of rubbing there. Rubbing's racing, right, George?
That's it, man. You got to make some moves out here in the dirt track.
All right, we got Austin Reed and Levin side by side in turn 2, coming off of turn 2 right now.
Yeah, but look at this battle for the lead. Derek Kraus, Jager Jones, Haley Deegan, Vanderwall, and Souza.
We got a 2x2 on the front stretch.
Another set of people racing back here in the middle of the pack. Austin Reed trying to hold off these other guys, trying to get up past him.
Hey, I know one car that's going to be pitting, and that's Austin Reed.
Yeah, they definitely made the wrong adjustments for the first 50.
Yeah, I predicted the back half of the field is going to pit, and the front half is going to keep their track position.
It'd be nice they all pitted, then they'd all be even, see? They could make adjustments.
Oh, I think it's better if the back half pits and the front half stays out there. That way it'll make it a very exciting last 50 laps.
Right now, they're coming up on lap traffic. The yellow's going to come out for that 50-lap caution. And we're going to see who is going to pit.
Yeah, we're going to see who decides to keep the track position and who decides to pit.
Yeah, they were given 12 tires for the night, and I think 4 of them are used for the main event. I mean, I will double check that with Race Central, but they can't do anything until the cars are all set in the pits, Scotty.
Right.
And then NASCAR K&N officials will blow the horn and give them, they got 5 minutes to get the work done. So we're going to see who, believe me, they're going to make every one of them stop and not touch their car. Nobody can touch any car until everybody's ready.
Well, you know, if you're organized and you've got a good crew chief to organize the work, you can get a lot of work done in 5 minutes, George.
Well, I don't necessarily say, I would think the tires could hold up the 100 laps. I just think the adjustments that were made on the car because of the track, the way the track is, and that's going to be crucial for the driver. The driver's going to give that information back to the crew to say, hey, we got to tighten it up, we got to loosen it up. And, you know, I'm driving into turn 1, the car is loose or it's tight. And the crew chief, like TJ was saying earlier, TJ knows when his driver tells him, hey, my car is loose in the middle of 1 and 2. They know what to do.
So there they go. We're going to find out when they come back out on the track who pitted and who didn't.
Well, we won't see the pull off the track. I think they're all going to go. Once the leaders all decided to go.
All right, so how do you like those stock cars on dirt, folks? That was pretty exciting. I can't wait to see how they finish.
All right, so we're going to sit here, kind of relax a little, grab yourself something, some hot chocolate or something to drink real quick. We got about 5 minutes. Once they get the whistle, they get 5 minutes to work on the race car.
This is like the old movies when they had an intermission, George. I used to love that.
Except we don't have popcorn.
All right, so the suspense builds. We're going to have to wait 5 minutes, and then when they come back out on the track, we're going to know what the new lineup is. I'm sure there's going to be a new one because I'm almost positive that the back half of that field is going to pit and put on some new tires. So the front half, you know, you got to wonder if that Derek Kraus was starting to have trouble with his tires because he was really losing a lot of time in the last 5 or 6 laps there. He was holding up the field. The field was kind of pushing him along, trying to get around him. He's lucky he didn't get past because he probably would have wound up back in 5th or 6th position.
Well, Scotty, for you folks, here's what we're going to pass on to you. So everybody that pulled off the track is pitting. So there's no question. Everyone is pitting right now. It's 5 minutes. So, Scotty, we don't have to worry about who's coming out. The order they come out in will be the order that they drove out of the track. So we know Derek Kraus will still come out first, but it's going to be to see the adjustments that were made in that 5 minute period on who is going to, on the restart of that race, we're going to see who can get up to the front or who's going to fall back.
Well, right now we're probably going to find out who has the best crew chief, aren't we?
Well, believe me, these crew chiefs on this K&N Pro Series West team, these guys are really very talented. They got some great crew chiefs. And believe me, when the information is passed on, like TJ was saying, they know what to do. But you got to have a good driver that can tell them.
Well, I don't know. It's so different to race on pavement versus dirt. I know I was a pretty good crew chief on pavement, but I was terrible on dirt. So it's a whole different world. So we're going to see if they make the right decisions here and what they're going to do because it's kind of a crapshoot. I don't know. We're going to see.
Well, you know, if you watched earlier in the day, if you folks were here earlier, if you watched the practice and the qualifying session, the track was not the black, you know, the groove that we see right there. And they say that in racing on the dirt, Scotty, that the black groove is like racing on asphalt. You know, that's what they say at the dirt tracks. Once that, because the World of Outlaw guys, they come back, if they came back out here to race another 30 laps, they would be up high in that cushion. I know Tony would agree with me up here. They would search the top of this track to find some traction. They're not going to get traction down on the bottom of that track.
Right. Well, these cars, I don't know. You know, Haley Deegan got better as that run went on, and Kraus got worse. And you know, Austin Reed, he just was worse and worse and worse. So it's. Oh.
We don't necessarily know if this, you see the 6 car of Jagger Jones, did he get out of there quickly? Let's see how they line up.
Yes, we will. So Jagger comes out first, and we've got Haley. Looks like Haley right behind.
So definitely we will not know until we get the lineup. But we do see 2 of the front runners out there, out of that top 4. And you see there's the 7 of Tanner. I mean, I have to look over the race officials, but I know that they get 4 tires for them. They get 4 to use. They can use tires, right? They can? Right. No, that's what he just told us. He said they all came off and they all went into work. Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. That we see them coming out here, Scotty, but they're going to line up exactly like they left the track. We're just talking to the race officials next to us. Like I said, we read earlier they had 12 tires for this race tonight. 4 of them were for right now. So while this pit's going on, they can put 4 brand new tires on.
Yeah, I was just looking at the cars with my binoculars, and those tires look like fresh ones to me. So this could be really interesting this last 50 laps.
I just don't know if, how it works different on the dirt, whether new tires versus setup would make a difference on this car. But, you can do air pressure. The tires are going to get hotter as they go, so you're going to build up that pressure.
Well, it's going to be a very exciting finish here tonight. We've had 2 very exciting finishes already tonight, so I would not be surprised whatsoever to have a third. It's been an awesome night of racing here in Las Vegas, and, man, we just love it. I wish we could do this same race once a week here, don't you, George?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different type of race, and it's pretty cool. You see Todd Souza coming out there in the 13 car, and he just came out of the pit, so he's lining back up where he's supposed to be. He's in that top 4. There's Vanderwall in that 43 car.
Yeah, this race this weekend or this week reminds me a bit of the Copper World Classic when they used to run the open wheel cars and the stock cars down in Phoenix. Now, just to pass along a rumor, why not? I know that there have been talks about rekindling the Copper World Classic, and I know that would be a lot of fun because that was one of my favorite races. So hopefully USAC will see that and go for it.
So you can see Derek Kraus there will be on the inside of row number 1. On the outside will be Jager Jones. Inside of row number 2 will be Haley Deegan. Outside will be Vanderwall. Looks like on the inside is Souza. On the outside is Joey Tanner in that 7 car. That's your top 3 rows as they line up for the restart of this half next 50. And like you said, this is really going to be who made the right changes for their driver. Here we go.
All right, the pace truck is off. Derek Kraus is going to lead them around. The field is tightening up in the back. We got Jagger Jones on the outside. The flag man is looking him over. Green flag racing.
I wonder if anybody's spinning tires, but Haley Deegan didn't get a good start. She was about 3 car lengths back, Scotty. Now she's making the move coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, she took advantage of that inside position. She's in 3rd now, and I think she's in a pretty good spot right now.
No, I mean, this is kind of where she was last September, and took advantage of that drive, and Christopher Bell having some problems. And look at Jager all over the back of Derek Kraus. A couple cars going up high. We had 3 coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, Joey Tanner really made a great save in the 7 car, got it back down to the bottom. He and Austin Reed almost got together there. Reed trying to make that outside work, trying to make something work here.
You can see just what we were talking about earlier, Scott. The single file down on the bottom is where they're driving. They just can't use that upper groove yet. Whether they've set the cars up later on, we'll see. But right now, it looks like a normal asphalt track, where they're driving on the bottom.
That's right. Now the 17 car goes a little wide, Tony Toast, but he pulls it back down to the bottom on the front stretch. And then Austin Reed goes around.
Yeah.
And the 9 car also, Trevor Huddleston, goes around in turn 1.
I don't know if anybody touched, really, but we can see it we'll look at the replay.
Yeah, it looked like they both just kind of simultaneously spun there.
I think one spun, and then, sometimes when you see somebody spin, you hit the brakes. And, definitely in the middle of that corner, you hit the brakes, that thing's going to go sideways.
Yeah, even if you just let completely off the gas, if you've been hammering the gas to go through turn one, that can cause you to spin right there. So you just never know.
Yeah, I'm watching the TV to see if they show the replay of that in turn 1 and 2. Right now we got camera on Huddleston, following him around the track.
So that's going to put Austin Reed and Huddleston all the way in the back of the pack. So they've got a lot of work ahead of them. I tell you, Joey Tanner in the number 7 car, we know Joey is a very experienced dirt racer in dirt late models. And so Joey trying to get used to these really heavy cars on the dirt, but doing pretty well. He's up into the 6th position. And, I still think that Joey could be the one to work on that outside lane and try to pass some people out on the outside.
All right, we're going to line back up. Lights are out on the pace truck. Inside row number 1, once again, Derek Kraus, Jager Jones, the outside. Inside row number 2, Haley Deegan. Vanderwall on the outside, row number 2.
Hey, George, don't look now, but the number 08 car of Travis Milburn, sponsored by Stoney's, all the way up to 8th position now. And David Hibbard, who didn't join us till today in the 64 car, now up to 10th position. So a couple of cars, kind of dark horses there, moving up mid-pack. We're going to see if they can continue to move up through this field.
Yeah, we still have a lot of laps, and here we go. Derek Kraus will lead them around.
Flagman's looking them over. Green flag racing.
Haley Deegan getting a better start that time, all over the back bumper, and she's trying to get by Jago, and the car goes around. Got tagged.
Okay, caution is out.
I mean, we ran out of a little bit of real estate. So 64 car.
It looks like the 64 lost something over there by that tire in turn 1. Our great safety crews over there collecting that debris, getting that out of the way. So we're really lucky. The safety crew has been pretty. They haven't had a lot to do with the races this week. So great to see that. We like to see our safety crew just kind of standing around and enjoying the race, don't we, Jordan?
Yes, we do. We got the best safety crew in the world out here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They're working very busy this weekend, 5 days of racing. They'll be back over there at the big track tomorrow for practice and qualifying for the trucks. All the qualifying going on other than Saturday for the Xfinity cars. But the trucks tomorrow, qualifying, I think, for the Monster Cup cars maybe on Friday. But definitely that crew is very busy. We only have a handful out here at this track, but those guys, there'll be a bunch of trucks out there all weekend.
Yeah, and don't forget, folks, if you're going to the big track the next 3 days, you can pick up your souvenir program right down here in the LVMS gift trailer downstairs here. So be sure to pick that up before you leave, and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, you get the program and a Pennzoil diecast, so pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome diecast with 2019 on the diecast.
You can use that program if you come on next week and come out to the bull ring, hang out with us, and use it for autographs. We got some of the top drivers from the bull ring are in that program, and they'll be out there next Saturday signing autographs. So come on out, hang out with us. Kids under 12 are free if they're accompanied by an adult, and the tickets are only $10. So come on out.
You know, George, I saw one of our champions in the stands earlier. Cindy Clark's here tonight. She's one of our champions over there at the Bull Ring, and Cindy will be signing those autographs, so be sure to bring your program over there to have her sign.
Yes, we want to thank Wonder Woman for hanging out today. Cindy Clark. She works for the media too out here. She does a lot of things. So we're getting back lined up.
Looks like we've got some more debris in turn 1. So fire and safety is going to go out there and take care of that.
All right, looks like they found a piece of debris. Pull out of the way. The car's coming by, getting lined up, try to get these cars back up.
So, folks, I hope you bought your Speedway Charities 50-50 ticket earlier. I'm almost positive a dirt track fan is going to win the 50-50 drawing this year.
Guy waving his hat. He says, I think I won. I won. You got it, man. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeehaw.
Okay. Here we go. The one to go at the line. Pace truck lights are out. I say car all the time. Okay. Derek Kraus on the inside, Jager Jones on the outside. Haley Deegan, the Dirt Princess, on the inside, row number 2. Vanderwall on the outside. Cody making some moves. We gotta, if you watch the last, we didn't have much of a start, Scott, but if you look, everybody trying to get to that bottom, you know, as quick as you can.
Okay, the pace truck is off.
Keep an eye on Haley Deegan, folks, as she tries to push the back of Derek Kraus.
Flagman looks him over. Green flag racing.
She is bump drafting Derek Kraus down the front straightaway and goes into turn 1. Can they get by Jager Jones? Jager Jones coming out of 2 with the speed. Look at Jager Jones goes to the front. Now he'll drop down in front of Derek Kraus. He slips up a little bit up the track.
Cody Vanderwall looking pretty good on the outside as well.
He got tagged right there. Derek Kraus couldn't do anything but run into the back of Jager. Look at Vanderwall sideways up in that second groove. And he'll fall back a little bit. Now he picks it up going down the back straightaway.
Boy, the cream has really risen to the top here. All the drivers we've seen do so well in practice are really battling it out now for the lead.
You look at Derek Kraus, that car is pitching back and forth, trying to get grip coming out of turn 4. So definitely that car is going backwards with the 16 car. Watch.
So Sunrise Ford has to be happy with their new driver, Jager Jones, out in the lead of the Star Nursery 100 right now.
You know, Jager Jones last week, folks, he won a late model race for Dale Earnhardt Jr. last week in Florida. Jager Jones got that ride. Jimmy Johnson told Junior, keep an eye on this young driver, Jager Jones, the son of P.J. Jones.
I tell you what, Souza and Vanderwall are just having a battle out there.
Look at Haley Deegan now trying to go to the inside and work on Derek Kraus, her teammate. Comes out of 2, man. It's a drag race, Scotty, down the back straightaway.
She is finally able to try to make that pass.
It looks like she has the car to the finish. And look at the 13 of Todd Souza working on Derek Kraus.
Wow, Todd Souza, that was a very smart move by Todd Souza in the 13. And Tony Toast spins out in turn 2, but he keeps it going. We stay green.
Nice 360. Boy, look at this battle right here. Vanderwall now gets up front. Look, here comes Tanner, the 7 car. Scott, he's picking it back up. Some of these drivers moving up now to the front. Joey Tanner in that 7 car, the dirt guy, experience, a lot of experience on the dirt.
So Kraus, again, as the race goes on, Kraus gets slower. And this time he could not hold off the field and has fallen all the way back to 6th position now.
Yeah, I don't know what adjustments were made on that Jagger Jones car, but he is flying right now. He out front with about a 12 car length lead over Derek Kraus.
We've got Haley Deegan in 2nd in that Monster Energy car.
And I was looking back there. I'm sorry I made the mistake. That's Haley Deegan and Todd Souza.
That's right, Todd Souza looking real good in 3rd position now.
Yeah, Derek Kraus back in 6th. Jagger Jones is losing no distance. You know, he's keeping that distance ahead of Haley Deegan.
We've got 22 laps to go, and Jagger Jones really has a big lead now, almost a half of a straightaway.
We've got 4 cars now in that second the battle back there behind Jagger Jones. These guys, any of these drivers, Scotty, could get to that 2nd spot. Haley Deegan tried to hold off Souza. Well, look at Souza get into the back, so close to that back bumper.
Joey Tanner gets underneath Vanderwall, trying to make that pass stick on the backstretch, unable to do it so far.
Yeah, Maze Vanderwall driving in that 2nd lane on the upper part of the track. Oh, Tanner gets in the back of Souza. Oh, and he hits him. He can't help it.
Looked like Souza might have caught the tractor tire a little bit on the side.
Yeah, he slowed right up, and Tanner had no place to go.
Cody Vanderwall really putting the pressure on Joey Tanner now, but unable to keep it up through turn 4. Tanner underneath Souza.
Yeah, Tanner makes that move. Also, looks like Vanderwall is going to follow right behind Souza.
All right, Joey Tanner is moving and grooving now. We got some Joey Tanner fans in the house.
And look at the distance between the leader of Jagger Jones and Haley Deegan. They've definitely made some right changes on that number 6 car.
Yeah, that Sunrise Ford, they know what they're doing. And Jagger Jones, their new driver, is taking advantage of that great cruise.
It's going to be 2 weeks in a row winning on a track for Jagger Jones.
He's going to be spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, win one in Florida, come back over here and win one in Vegas.
Yeah, right now, Haley Deegan is about a 10th faster than the leader. So Haley Deegan knocking a 10th of a second off that lead every lap.
Yeah, right now, Jagger Jones coming up on lap traffic. And really, he finds his way down to the bottom of the track and gets by one of the vehicles he's lapping. Haley Deegan might be the fastest, but she's got a lot of real estate to make up.
Yeah, he's got Jagger Jones has about a 3-second lead right now.
Tanner sitting in that 3rd spot, Vanderwall in the 4th spot, Souza in the 5th spot. Derek Kraus back in 6th.
Yeah, Jagger Jones extended that lead now all the way up to a 4-second lead now. We've got Joey Tanner, the late model dirt track driver in the number 7 car, up to 3rd place now. It's going to be really hard to move up. Haley Deegan has a pretty good lead over 3rd position.
All right, back to the race action. Bring it up to date here, Scotty. We've got Jagger Jones we were just talking about. And here comes Haley Deegan. And definitely, you're right, much faster on the track than Jace Jones. And she's making up some time. We don't know if she's got enough. We've got about maybe 10 laps to go.
Well, she's cut into the lead. Now it's down to a 2.9-second lead. So she's cut almost a couple of seconds off of that lead.
And both drivers, you can see them working this track. Haley finally got this car hooked up on this 2nd run.
Now, of course, these drivers have radios, so I'm sure that their crew chiefs are keeping them up to date on where they are and what kind of lead Jagger has and things like that.
Jagger right now is coming up on about 5 lapped cars. So right here he's got to work on these cars coming out of turn 2.
George, lap traffic has played a part in both races tonight.
I know.
Will it have an effect on this race too?
And you know, the problem is we got to hope the driver gets out of that lane, because look, you see that right there, that driver blocking Jagger Jones coming out of 4, because he just wants to stay down the bottom. His spotter should be saying, hey, leader's coming, get out of the way.
Yeah, but a lot of these inexperienced drivers, they don't know how to get off the bottom. They really don't. Jagger really having trouble lapping that car, and Haley Deegan catching up.
Well, that's going to get Deegan a lot closer to the leader. And right now she's only about 5-6 car lengths back from Jagger Jones, and she's got to work on this same driver. See if the driver can get out of the way.
A lot of it's going to come down to timing now, and she does. She makes a nice pass there on the lap car, so she didn't lose nearly as much time as Jagger Jones.
Now she's about 4 or 5 car lengths behind Jagger Jones and moving up. The fastest lap right now. 4 laps to go, right?
Yeah, 4 laps to go, and Jagger Jones still in lap traffic. Haley Deegan really catching up now in turn 3 and 4.
And could this be another main event down to the last lap?
Only 3 laps remaining.
We got a car going really slow on the bottom in front of the leaders, going down the back straightaway as the leaders come up. That might have helped Haley. She's now within a car and a half, 2 cars back for Haley Deegan.
You know she's real big in that rearview mirror right now. And look at all that traffic ahead, George. There's all kinds of traffic for this leader to get through.
Yeah, and with everybody staying down on the bottom of the track, Jagger tries to get by. He gets by. And Haley right there in tow. She's going to follow Jagger right around.
White flag is out.
And Jaeger gets chopped off by this car. He doesn't have room to go.
This is it.
And look at Haley Deegan
making the
into
move underneath.
3 coming out of turn 2. That is crazy. 3, this is down to the last turn once again.
All right, a chrome horn there, chrome horn, but Haley Deegan is going to win the race.
3rd race tonight with the last lap pass. Give it up for the young lady out of Temecula, California.
George, what are the chances of that? 3 out of 3 last lap passes for the win tonight.
She made statements early on in the week that she didn't want second, she wanted first place. She was coming to Vegas to win this race.
George, when I had to interview her in September, there were tears in her eyes when that race was over because she knew she had been fast all week, and man alive, she was able to make the pass for the win tonight.
So right now, Haley Deegan, Jaeger Jones, and Joey Tanner, your top 3, are going to pull up down there. We're going to get an interview with all 3 drivers. Tough break for Derek Kraus. Austin Reed in the 14 car. Definitely the car to beat coming out in the main event, but definitely things change in the main event. So Haley Deegan, last year she finished second behind Sheldon Creed doing some donuts down there. She left this race going and winning the next K&N Pro Series West race in Meridian, Idaho. Give it up for the woman, second time to win a race in the K&N Series for a woman. This has never been done. Believe me, she is pumped. She came to this race, saw the statements she made. She came here to win. She didn't want second like she got last year. She is the dirt princess. Las Vegas, let's give it up for Haley Deegan, Temecula, California. We're going to send it down to my partner Scotty and do an interview with these winners. Give it up for pit boss. Pit boss is going to be very busy this week over at the big track.
All right, George, I'm down here in the winner's circle, the K&N victory lane. Haley Deegan is in her car. We're waiting for her to get out. All right, here I am. I'm here with Haley Deegan, your winner tonight of the Star Nursery 100. Haley, you did a last lap pass. You put it in there and you made it happen. How in the world did you do that?
Man, for some reason in the back of my mind, I knew it was going to come down to the last lap again. Jagger was so far ahead, and I was like, we just had to hit our marks every single lap. I made a pretty big mistake there, like 20 to go. I was like, I can't do that again if we're going to get this win. And just kept hitting my marks over, and the lappers helped out just a little bit, and then we got it done.
You sure did. Hey, Haley, I saw you in September, and I had to interview when you were not feeling too good after that race. And I got to say, I'm so glad to see the big smile on your face tonight for winning the Star Nursery 100.
Yeah, we did it. In the end, I wasn't going to come out here. I wasn't going to get second again. That's the last thing I was going to do. I was going winner wad over here. And so, yeah. And everyone we did a lot of work after the heat race. We knew we had a lot of work to do and just sit down, talk, figure it out. And my team backed me up. They went with me, and we brought it home victory.
You sure did. Haley Deegan, your winner tonight. Another last lap pass here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway Dirt Track. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to the Speedway tonight. Man alive, have you ever seen 3 more exciting races in your life? All right, man alive, just another great race here in Las Vegas. Hopefully we're going to get 3 more this week. Come over to the Super Speedway with us in the next 3 days and join us. We're going to have a great time. Thank you for coming out tonight. Good night.
So I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Safe drive home. Hope to see you guys out here. And ladies and gentlemen, at the big track for the next 3 days of racing over there, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.